We are ready to rumble. Well. Welcome to MonstaTV. I am Fred, your friendly neighborhood alien, 100% politically incorrect and anti-feminist to the core. But today, we're going to have a look at a certain case. And it's a case about a girl called Ellie Williams, who accused several men of sexually assaulting her and so on. It is a case of false accusation. And I thought, whoa, what a twisted case. And I thought it was important to have a look at that as well, because obviously we do have a lot of people who are doing this kind of stuff to women, but then there is other cases where we have false accusations. And we need to tackle both, and we need to tackle them hard, you know? False accusation is one of the most devious things that exist on this planet. Lying is anyway, but false accusations of really savage, terrible crimes is something terrible. Now, I skipped ahead in this a little. It is a series called Accused, and they're putting it together here in this video. And this is the part where it goes to trial and so on. Now, I skipped ahead a little. I will put a link in the description. And because I didn't want to get too much into the people who are being accused, because not to taint the whole thing. The story, it unfolds by itself through the court case. So we're just going to get right into the case. So we have a guy called, what was his name? Something. Oh, I think we're going to get into it anyway. So this is how the whole thing starts getting really strange, whereas everybody thinks, oh shit, she has been really badly damaged and so on, because she comes, she comes home or she comes someplace and she is really heavily damaged. So we're just going to get into the actual part where the court case starts and so on. So we'll hear what they're saying, and we'll see if we can catch up to what's happening. Let's have a look.
You were bad character, then it might put a little bit of doubt in the jury's mind. I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
Well, that's the wife of a Pakistani. Now, I wouldn't believe the Pakistani if you paid me to, but it's not really about him. It's the young lad where it started getting really strange for me, you know.
The court heard today from men who were arrested on the strength of Ellie Williams' allegations. She had accused them of rape. In some cases, she had accused those men of being part of an Asian grooming gang who she said had been sexually abusing her and others across the north of England for years. These were men who either said they didn't know Ellie Williams or had...
I'm a psychologist and psychotherapist. I've worked with sexual assault victims, rape victims who are trying to put their lives back together. I've also worked with some of the perpetrators of these crimes as well.
Ellie Williams has been on trial here for a month now. She's accused...
When I first came across the story, my first instinct when I looked at it, I just thought, it just doesn't seem right. There's just something about that whole case that does not make any sense. It does seem, like she's a fantasist. It does seem like I can see where that word has come from to explain it. But with all fantasy, I think there are some facts.
Now, Ellie Williams denies perverting the course of...
With all fantasy, there are some facts. Well, if she completely fantasized being raped, what are the some facts then?
Justice, and the case continues here.
There's a certain thing about wanting to give women a benefit of the doubt, even though they lie. That's something that is really, really terrible, okay? Now, there are the grooming gangs, and they should be shot. But the point is that, the thing is that when girls or women use that kind of stuff to accuse men of something they didn't do, now we have a real problem, and they should be shot too.
So I was looking forward to hearing her account of what had happened.
When Ellie was going to give evidence in court, a lot of Justice for Ellie supporters had turned up Clearly, a lot of people believed that she was the true victim here.
And this is the thing. They haven't even gotten any evidence yet, but they're already believing her. Why? Like, what is going on there? They don't know anything about the case.
They'd chartered minibuses to come down from Barrow.
Come on, is there anyone?
Well, many buses, that's, you know, look at there's only a few fucking people there, like, what do you mean many buses?
Take to it. You know what? It's all working with each
They were
other.
shouting at the journalists and the police and
Like 3 policemen.
suggesting that, you know, we were part of this conspiracy against Ellie. And actually, sometimes you sort of had to remind yourself that she's the one on trial. She's the one being accused of a crime, and she's the one being accused of lying.
Can you tell me your full name? My name's Ellie Williams.
Like, there was one incident that we heard about in the trial where Ellie phoned 999 from the flat where she was living and kind of made a silent call.
Please, what's your emergency?
Your account was fine.
What's your name?
Ellie,
What's been happening that you want him out?
he just slapped me.
Do you need an ambulance? Ellie, has he come back in? Just answer yes or no. Ellie, if you're not able to speak, can you just press the number 5 twice? Okay, Ellie, we're coming to you as an emergency, okay? Just try to stay as safe as you can.
It was a very confusing part of the case. Like, I find it hard to believe that that was just her concocting evidence to support her lies.
You alright?
And when police came round to the flat, she was found in a terrible state, covered in bruises.
What's going on?
It was really hard to watch.
You okay? Have you taken something? Sit down. Sit down for me. Sit down. Ellie? What's happened? What have you had?
Now, I mean, just check your feelings, your first feelings. Just check them, all right? And you will notice that you don't believe there's anything true about this. Now, obviously, she is actually injured, but she's acting the part. That's the feeling. That's the first feeling I get. Now, I'm gladly wrong. If it's different, then it's different. But something is not right here.
In court today, jurors were shown body-worn camera footage. Ellie claimed at the time that she'd been taken home by traffickers who had then raped and beaten her.
Well, that could be proven, right? If she was raped, then that could be proven. A rape kit would prove that.
However, CCTV footage showed her walking home alone. Walking home alone.
Just to remind you, the CCTV footage showed her walking home alone, all the way.
However, CCTV footage showed her walking home alone.
I know. I'll help you.
When I saw that footage of her, I instantly just thought the behaviours that she's exhibiting would suggest that she certainly doesn't feel safe as an adult.
It certainly doesn't feel safe. Why don't you just say she's faking it? What are you doing? And then you can tell us why.
But why did she feel the need to do that? What happened there? What's happened to this girl that made her feel that she had to go to such extreme lengths to be seen and to be heard?
The jury then heard that Ellie hit herself with a hammer that she'd been seen purchasing herself on CCTV.
This is the thing where I thought, what? Like what? Again? Just hear this again and then we can continue.
Jury then heard that Ellie hit herself with a hammer that she'd been seen purchasing herself on CCTV.
You must be fucking kidding.
With an expert witness confirming her injuries to be consistent with self-inflicted hammer blows.
Look at that.
Self-harm is normally where someone struggles to cope with their own emotions and then they internalize it. So then they take it out on themselves. So they're hurting themselves as a way, as a form of punishment to cope with their emotions.
But that's not what she's doing. I mean, she's hurting her body and all the rest of that, but she's accusing other people and hurting them, innocent people. That's what she's doing. You see where psychology is? Psychology is completely fucked up. You can just throw it into the dustbin, into the garbage, or whatever, you know, if you're American or English or whatever. You can just throw it away. It's full of shit now.
But in this case, rather than it being used as a way to regulate her emotions, it's being used to gain attention. So it, you know, it's unusual.
Today at the Eleanor Williams trial, police showed how she'd created multiple social media accounts to send herself threatening messages in the names of Mo Rami, Jordan Trengove, and many other men.
So as you can imagine, I was seeing all this, I was hearing all this. It was like me apparently admitting to raping her, and if she told anyone I was going to rape her again and make sure I killed her. I just felt disgusting.
The jury heard how the messages were sent from Ellie's home address, proving that they did not come from the men she had accused.
To me, that's how sick it was. And it was just like, oh my God, that really just made me go. I was angry.
That was an eye-opener, listening to the lengths she'd gone to, because we didn't know half of it. What she'd written is disgusting. I was just like, why is she doing this?
6 different phones were found at Ellie's address, with dozens of social media accounts which had been set up in the names of the men she accused.
Reading the messages was really interesting and really shocking. The language that she uses, there's a lot that talks about sex. Obviously, it's all about grooming as well. It's quite possible that there's been a sexual trauma in her history.
Oh yeah, sure. First of all, she's creating an entire world around herself. She, you know, let's have a look. Does she have any friends? Like what's going on in her friend's life and so on and so on? No, she's creating a whole world for herself, in which she is, you know, like Gone Girl, that movie, like where she's just creating a whole scenario around herself, and she is the main character in it all. And of course, it's a shocker movie. So it's that, because you see, if you use something just simple, then people can have a look and check and stuff like that. If you use something really drastic and dramatic, people don't want to look, they don't want to check out, can this even be true? You know, this kind of stuff. She went a little bit far with this, so people did check it out. But generally speaking, you want to look away, you don't want to, you know, and you just give her the pity that she wants. You see, the thing is that she's looking for a certain type of attention, and not just for attention.
That hasn't been resolved for her. You can see the themes actually running through the messages. But ultimately, at the end of the trial, I had more questions than answers.
You're a useless therapist.
Don't think I slept.
No, I'm sure he didn't.
This is D-Day. You're going to verdict day and you're thinking, that jury, what's he going to say?
Oh, well, I don't care. You know, I don't care. I don't care much for Pakistanis anyway, because, like, you know, talk to your fellow countrymen.
There were 13 jurors in this trial. They were all white.
Oh, fuck off. I'm not going to listen to this guy. I'm not listening to it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about you, okay? At all.
On the first charge of perverting the course of justice, how do you find the defendant?
Guilty.
Ecstatic. Every emotional thing. Ecstatic, upset. We shouldn't be cheering it. We shouldn't have even been there. It shouldn't have even come into our life. But making the most of it, you know, we've got the result we wanted, you can breathe a sigh of relief.
Jordan slapped me on the knee and went, yes.
It was like a big sense of joy. I'll just remember that 5 minutes where I was just looking at the jury, just smiling.
And I just remember holding his hand and just squeezing it, and was just relieving. It was...
And it is such a heavy shit thing to be accused of something like that, you know? And then to get away with that must have been a huge relief for these people. Unbelievable. And the all-white jury, huh? They did just well, didn't they? Packy, Stanny.
Completely different kind of feeling to the feelings that we'd just had for the past God knows how long.
I feel no sense of triumph, only sadness for the loss of the years, the impact.
Don't care.
I was actually on my honeymoon.
I do care about the false accusation, of course. But I mean, I just have enough of coloured people, and that's why it's worse. No, it's your countrymen who have created this whole grooming gang crap in the UK, and that's why it's all over the fucking world, and that's why it could even be invented. Okay? That's why I'm not even listening to this crap. I listen to the white dude.
It was in Prague. And it was the last day. And somebody sent me a couple of messages. You do realise you've helped a liar, you've raised money for a liar.
All of a sudden people are turning on her, right? I mean, wow. She went to quite some lengths. I hope they're going to tell us something about why she did it even, and so on, and not just the facts here.
I was just like, no, she's not done that. She's not made that up. No one would do that. Sorry, it was just taking me back to the last day of the honeymoon. I was so distracted, and it sort of killed the last part of it. I'm sort of just re-going over it, and it just, like, we know somebody that, I know somebody personally that genuinely gone through that and been raped, and it just kind of brought that back as well.
Yeah, well, and you better think about it. Is that true? I mean, if it's true, it is diabolical, as we just said there, a while ago there. And everybody is in agreement that that is the most terrible, one of the most terrible things that you could do to a person, right? But if you accuse somebody falsely of something like that, you should get the punishment that you wish upon a rapist, okay?
And there's all these girls that have genuinely been through this ordeal. I just kind of wish I'd helped one of them, rather than it being somebody that made it up.
I bet.
But all you can do is just put it right now, innit? Get the money back.
That must be terrible. It's a weird thing of supporting somebody like that, isn't it? And all the people who are shouting and screaming and, help Ellie and so on, and she lied about it. Now, some people say, as that therapist there, why did she do it? In the sense of having pity with her. Fuck that. Okay? Put her into prison, then you can have pity with her.
For Ellie Williams' mother, it's a devastating verdict.
The court has decided she is a liar about really serious things.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's a really serious thing or not. If you fucking lied, you lied.
Yeah, that's correct. And in the eyes of the law, I've got to follow that verdict and accept that. She's a happy little thing. And so I miss that. I miss that energy in the house.
Oh, yeah. And what would have happened to those guys that she accused of something you didn't do, huh?
They're being here.
It's amazing that the way that this pity party shit with women is just amazing. It just amazes me every single time. The way she can just ignore that her daughter lied about these things, okay? And it can be proven that she lied. It's wow.
But she'll be back again at some point, so we just got to look forward to that time.
So I messaged Ellie's mum. I said to her, listen, I hope you're okay. after the guilty verdict, because I thought it's not her fault, you know. Ellie's her own person, isn't she? She said, not in a good place, we'll talk in a couple of days, so we did. And then I said, I need to get some money back, either refunded or given to a cause of choice for the real victims. It was awkward. She was like, you're trying to force me to do something I don't want to do. And I was like, I'm not forcing you to do anything. We agreed that if it comes out that Ellie's guilty, you pass the money back to me and we'll donate it to 2 charities to support victims of abuse.
Good on you. Good on you.
She was ignoring my messages after that. I couldn't see a way out. I thought I was never going to get any money back, so I rang my bank, reported it. And the next morning, I woke up and there was £7,158 in my bank. So I was like frantically ringing the bank. I said, that's amazing, but how comes it's only 7,158 when it was supposed to be 21,204? And she said that was all that was remaining of the money that you passed in to her account.
Oh. So money has been disappearing, kind of thing, or what?
Alison is saying that she's donated the rest to the Salvation Army, which baffles me. We should actually have done something and support the real victims. I find it hard to live with sometimes. Ellie's someone that has literally destroyed people's lives. But the fact is, something's not right. You can't be capable of making all that up and injuring yourself like that unless something has happened. She's obviously been through something to be damaged like that.
Not necessarily. There is people who are just bitches, or real assholes. There is such a thing.
I mean, that word, Paki.
Couldn't care less. Don't give a shit. Not a damn. I couldn't give a damn, okay?
It was constant.
These are mostly Pakistani men, and some are business owners.
I mean, that sentence, Pakistani and business owners, Barrow has maybe 2 of them. And anyone who was remotely Pakistani, I mean, Bangladeshis were targeted, Indians were targeted, anyone whose skin was a different colour was targeted.
Oh, you crater. Is it racism? I'm already regretting having taken this video, but we're going to watch this, or else I'm going to just do another video. Yeah, you poor racist, and you poor racist, you poor racist. Go back home then.
Targeted. I mean, walking around in Barrow, you know, going Tesco, grabbing some shopping, everywhere. It was like everyone was looking at you, and you just couldn't say anything or do anything because what can you say? What can you do? It
is true though. If you are falsely accused, it is. I mean, try to imagine it. You know, what is he supposed to say? You know, even if I don't want this kind of a dude around me. Because of all the rumors that are going around and the things that are actually true. You know, if you've seen the new movie, Citizen Vigilante, you would know that that's built upon the things that have been happening in England, especially, and all over Europe, of course, but because the reports are out, you see. And it is. An awful lot of these grooming gangs are these type of people. You can say what you want. Now, that's the other thing then. Well, you can't make everybody responsible. Well, the thing is, like, as I said before, I'd rather not have any of them around me than to have to choose all the time and find out all the time which one of them is which, you know? So, I don't really care. Don't care.
Against the whole town.
which is diabolical, you know. I mean, if it's not true, it's not fucking true.
Had you ever experienced racism before?
No.
Oh, isn't that amazing? So there was no racism, and he was here in white countries, and there was no racism, no racism whatsoever, like. Isn't that amazing? But then after a girl got raped, I mean, she accused him, people weren't so satisfied, and they weren't so, you know, with the Paki here. And they were saying, listen, mate.
Actually, I didn't even think it existed. I thought that was like an urban myth.
See? Because white people aren't racist.
That happened years ago, something like the bloody war. So that was history, and I was naive enough to actually believe that.
Over the weekend, 2 Indian restaurants were subject to what police believe were racially aggravated offences.
After she was found guilty,
I don't really like that kind of stuff either.
I thought, hopefully it'll be over soon, because for a number of years I had all these random strangers giving me abuse every single day. So obviously I just felt kind of helpless. I couldn't do anything to stop it happening.
I think it's kind of cool though that that white people are standing up for themselves in their own countries now. I think it's really, really cool, and that these people are warned. I mean, you better be careful, because of the fact that they're doing it. You know, there's loads of them that are doing it, and loads of them that aren't doing it. Obviously, right? But I mean, it's good to warn them, because I mean, you just have to go on X and have a look around what is happening in Europe, and then you will understand what the effect of this is. And people have had enough. So I don't have any pity. I just think it's wrong to put these guys through that kind of stuff if they didn't do anything.
I lost so many things. I've got business, happy life, happy family. And then I lost my business because people are hating me, looking at me like different eyes. I said, oh, what's going on in this town? We are all scared.
I think that most of you should go back home. That's what I think. Most of you should just go back home.
And maybe I don't want to stay anymore. So that's why I left Barrow.
I was born and raised in Barrow, and then to see this destroy it, basically, ripping my own town to shreds, that really, really boiled me piss, if you like.
It's kind of interesting because this is on the basis of a false accusation, right? But if it was real, it would have done the same thing. It might have even done worse, right? So the thing is like, how are we going to see this? It is a false accusation in this case, but it still has the effect of an actual thing happening, right? It's kind of amazing.
So I started looking into it, and I was just scrolling through Facebook. The worst abuse was being targeted at this guy, Mo Rami.
What I don't like is people just making all sorts of accusations and they're just saying shit. They don't know if he's an actual fact at the center of it. They don't even know if that is true. How would they know? Like, I mean, what is going on? But people are really pissed off because of the stuff that is actually going on, and the police is involved in that kind of stuff. So, yes, all of a sudden, this whole thing will trigger an event that it doesn't really matter anymore if it's true or not, because of all the stuff in the background.
Nearly 700 comments, all death threats, just sickening. I just sat there in disbelief. I was just scrolling, become numb to it. And that's where I thought, oh my God, what the hell is this guy and his family going through, man? And I jumped in his corner because, like I say, it's the right thing to do. They're not willing to accept the fucking truth. Not justifying any violence against women or anybody for that matter. But it's wild, some of the stuff that was said about him. Telling lies, you know. They want to destroy that man. Let's be clear here, scratching the surface, they were exploiting the Ellie Williams case, you know, to fuel their hate. Had nothing to do with Ellie Williams. You know, so there's lots of different factors even after the case that's occurring here. You know, I'm not defending her, by the way, but we still don't know why Ellie Williams did this in the first place.
This is a really strange case, isn't it? Because I don't know where I stand on this thing. And that will tell you something about what kind of atmosphere is going on in Europe at the moment. I can tell you something that I don't really care, okay? What I do care about is the fact that she lies. I do care about that. I do care about the fact that these people are being falsely accused. I care about that. It doesn't matter, white, black, Pakistani, brown, what the fuck, I don't care. If it's a false accusation, it's bad, okay? And I don't like it. But all the rest of it that's going on around it, the stuff that he's talking about right there, for instance, that's happening because of the shit that's happening, right? There's going to be a backlash. This is what Europe is going to have to prepare for. There's going to be a backlash for having put these people at the top of society and giving them everything. And they're not being, you know, there's people who have done these things and they're being let out and stuff. The actual situation is so bad. It is so off the wall. And there's this, you know, justice has been handled differently for the people who are indigenous to Europe and those who are just here on vacation. Go home. Just pack your shit and go the fuck home. It is the best thing that you can do right now.
A 22-year-old woman is to be sentenced for perverting the course of justice. Stay with us as we'll shortly be joining a live feed of the sentencing.
Did you follow the trial?
The only time I saw it was when the sentencing came out.
Ellen Williams, please stand up.
And obviously listen to the judge's deliberations, and we just want her to go over, look her in her eyes and say, what the hell have you done? Why have you done it? Why?
Shut up, mate. I can imagine how you feel, but just shut the fuck up, okay? You know exactly what's going on in the West. And you know exactly why people have this attitude. Now, that woman is wrong, and you're right to have that feeling. But stop pretending as if there was no reason at all for people to have believed her. After all of this sickening fucking leftist crap about believe all women, where you were definitely on the side of those leftists. Definitely. This is what I hate about people like that. All of a sudden they're the victim of the bloody thing that they have been fucking promoting, and now they're all, oh my god, well fuck you.
I've received much psychiatric evidence in this case, all of which I've read. I heard evidence yesterday from Dr. Bacon called on behalf of the defendant. Dr. Bacon maintains that the defendant has a complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Dr. Locke, who has provided a report for the Crown, does not accept that this is a conclusion which can be drawn.
A part of me wants to believe, you know, maybe she has mental health issues, but the fact of the matter is that the judge in this case said that there was no evidence to it.
I agree with the conclusion of Dr. Locke that there is no evidence upon which I could conclude.
But then if it's not mental health issues, I mean, honestly, it's just you destroyed people's life for what?
Because this offence strikes at the heart of the administration of justice, it is to be regarded as serious.
It was a very tense atmosphere in court.
You will serve.
Hold on a second. You're not going to believe her? She's a woman.
Nobody really knew how many years she was going to get in prison.
A total sentence of 8.5 years imprisonment.
She looked lonely and young and pale and resigned to her fate. She wasn't sobbing. She even said a quiet thank you afterwards. I think maybe she thought that she was going to get a longer sentence. So maybe 8.5 years was, in some ways, a slight relief to her.
Outside the court, the question, would that be enough for the men Ellie Williams accused of rape and exploitation? If you were able to say anything to Ellie Williams today, what would you say?
Why? I want to know why.
Yeah, same here. I want to know why. Fuck it.
You have done this to us. Because she's not only done it to me and Mo, she's done it to our families, and there's innocent children and kids involved in our families along with that, and she's destroyed their lives as long with ours.
There is no explanation for why the defendant would commit these offences. She has gone to extraordinary lengths to create false accusations.
The judge just said that she did all of this for no reason.
Now we have going to have psychology. I haven't seen this, by the way. And now we're going to have psychology tell us that, of course, there was a reason. Well, the point is that, of course, there is a reason, because a human being doesn't do anything without a reason, of course. But we're going to start speculating now. And we're probably going to end up with no actual, anything that she says why she did it. She was just looking for attention. A little bitch who didn't get enough attention because whatever.
I find that very difficult to accept. When you read through the psychiatric assessments that are conducted for the purposes of the court, it's not as cut and dry, it's not as black and white as that.
Dr. Locke, commissioned by the prosecution, found Williams to have an immature personality and a considerable amount of anger. Dr. Lucy Bacon, commissioned by the defence, diagnosed complex post-traumatic stress disorder that may have arisen from childhood trauma.
Which they don't know. May have risen. Which trauma? Where is it? What are you talking about?
I think it's quite interesting that one of the psychiatric assessments found that she was suffering with complex post-traumatic stress disorder that may have been the result of a traumatic childhood environment.
Dr. Bacon had several sessions with Ellie and said that while she avoided details, Miss Williams had hinted at abusive and unpleasant experiences during childhood.
What a load of bullshit.
It was revealed in court that social services had been involved in Ellie's life up to the age of 8 years. And so looking through all of the court documents and witness statements, and from the police footage that I've seen, it is possible to come to conclusions about someone like Ellie from a professional perspective. What we know with trauma is that if it's not dealt with at the time, is that it presents again in unhealthy ways. And so my opinion, should I say, based on the information that I've seen, is that whatever trauma that she has experienced in her childhood wasn't actually dealt with, and this has then resulted in it turning into this situation that it is now.
Do you know what you've taken as well? Alcohol? Yes. Weed? Weed. Okay. And spice? Spice, okay.
Almost as if this is her way of working her trauma out. Things she wished she'd said, wished she'd done, actions she wished she'd taken.
This is absolute bullshit. This is bullshit. Okay? This is absolute crap what this woman is doing, what the girl is doing here. She's not even a girl, she's a woman, for fuck's sake. This is just crap.
Sex.
Her needs are being met through this behaviour. You can see it in the video footage.
And I'm going to get arrested tomorrow. No, I haven't arrested you yet, have I?
I think her drive to be heard and validated and consoled, and for this trauma to be healed for her by appropriate adults.
Now it's this trauma. You have no idea if there is a trauma. But now you're sure of it. People, listen to the words that these people speak and the way they talk. And you'll understand that they just pull it right out of their ass.
Outweighs any thought and consideration for the people that she made the allegations about. So she was trying to heal herself.
Oh yeah. Just like the Pakistanis rape gangs in England are just trying to heal themselves from childhood trauma that they had in their country by raping girls. You know, psychology is one of the worst things that is happening to our society today.
I believe him. I believe you. I promise to push my cook. I believe you. I do.
Yeah, I guess on some level I do feel a bit sorry for Ellie. Whatever happened in her life that led her to make up these horrendous lies and ruin so many lives. And I think I feel frustrated with her as well, because her lies don't just impact her. It also has much wider consequences for other women when they go to the police and make these allegations. Or maybe they now won't go to the police, because maybe they'll think, well, what if I end up being arrested? What if I end up being the one on trial? And you know,
And you should. If we find out that you lied, you should. And I'll tell you that the only reason why she was imprisoned and why she got a sentence was because there were coloured guys in the mix. That's the only reason. The only reason why the white guy there got his justice is because there was a coloured guy in the mix. And you can be damn sure of that. It is liberal women who are the fucking absolute cancer to this society. And that's why you have this crap going on. Think about it and you'll find it.
I was recently covering another grooming trial involving men from Rochdale. And I was looking at the jury and I was thinking, how many of them will be aware of the Ellie Williams case? And might be thinking, well, there was that one girl in Barrow who made it all up. So I think she's really damaged. I think she's really sort of polluted the environment for other women who want to be believed.
Yeah, true. But it all started with believe all women, didn't it? And that's why she was believed and nobody was checking it. In this case, though, there was a brown guy in there and it had to be checked. I kind of thought this was going to be a different type of case.
The only way I can ever feel normal is when I come fishing. I just expected it to go back to normal.
Yeah. You expected it to go back to normal. But people just keep going, you know. There's going to be people that are going to keep believing Ellie, right? I mean, she worked her body with a hammer, her own body, so that she could falsely accuse somebody. You understand? And she was working all this stuff in the background. I mean, you heard it, right? She created her own fake accounts and stuff like that. And this guy has been vindicated now, and expects things to go back to normal. Well,
but it doesn't just go back to normal.
No, does it? No.
I've had threats off people. I've had threats towards the kids. People shout at me in the streets. Some guy, he said, "You're a rapist, we don't want you in the area." And no matter how many times I tell someone I'm innocent, they're obviously thinking I've done it, so what's the point?
He goes fishing for his mental health, but even still, he's just sat there with his hood up, on his own, constantly looking over his shoulder.
I've referred myself with the community mental health team because I can't feel like this anymore, because it's just destroying too many things. It's destroying my relationship, my family.
Our future as a couple, I don't know where it's going to go, because Jordan is just so broken from all of this.
It is something. How can you even explain it, I mean, you only have to kind of think about it. You haven't done anything, you wouldn't do anything like that. You are really against all these things as a normal man. And then he gets accused. And he gets accused of something, and there's people who I just still believe it, even though he's vindicated. Even though it's clear what happened. People just want to believe it anyway. This world is fucked, And of course people believed her, and they feel, fucked because they believed her. And so they just want to stick to it, they just want to stay with it. It's diabolical. Totally diabolical.
So The fact that even now, there's still a large group of people who believe that the true victim here is Eleanor Williams. There's almost nothing you can say to these people. Trust in our institutions is perhaps at an all-time low.
Yeah, but that's normal. That's normal. You leftists have fucked it up completely and nobody trusts you. No, we won't trust you. We want facts.
People no longer trust the police. They don't trust the media to report the truth.
Perfect. That's exactly how it should be.
They think that there's corruption at every level of society.
True. That is a fact. So I don't know what your point is.
And that would include courts and judges.
Yep, that's true too. So they're totally on the ball with that. Smack on. Yeah. Keep going.
So there's just this huge skepticism in the community.
Yeah. Yes, of course there is. And you leftists, which you are definitely one of them, have caused it. Yes.
I mean, one of the many dismaying things about this case and watching it all unfold was how it was exploited by the far right.
Oh my God, I told you she was a leftist, didn't I? Amazing. By the far right. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is just amazing. Oh my God, you're so full of shit, woman. That's just, oh God. Oh my God.
For their own ends.
I'm not...
Oh my God, now they're going to politicize it. That's the reason why they don't trust it, you actual morons. It's impossible. You can't even watch shit anymore without, this kind of
Got to
crap.
stray away from the fact that it's purely racial.
Fuck off. Fuck off. End the invasion, stop immigration. It's absolutely perfect. Yes. Yes. Do that.
Decades of propaganda, media fueling this bullshit that all Asians are groomers.
No. A lot of them are. Okay? And you didn't get the Asians over here, and they're not Asians. Okay, they're Muslims. Fuck's sake, the way they talk. It is so disgusting.
That's where people like me have to come out and expose them.
Oh, you will expose them, will you now? I will expose them. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Whilst defending Mo Rami online, I found that some of the people who were accusing him of being all these things, you were drug dealer, you this and that, they were active members of the National Action, a terrorist organisation, basically, Nazis. Also, the Patriotic Alternative.
Yep, so what?
Who are notoriously racist.
Oh, they're obviously racist. They're just so racist they are, aren't they? They're just the greatest of the racists that you could get. No, they're all racist. Fuck off.
And they've been heavily involved in the move towards the far right in Barrow and Furness and further afield.
Yeah, people just had enough of this crap. People just had enough.
So I made contact with Mo.
I still get hundreds and hundreds of hate messages.
That kind of stuff I don't like. You know, I don't like it. I don't know what the hell you're going to do with that, okay? Watch your community and stuff like that, and if you find people touching girls, beat the shit out of them.
You dirty
or maybe don't. We don't want to be inciting violence, of course.
stupid fucking nonce. I'd bounce your head clean off the floor. Wait till we find you and your noncy packy mates. I think it's time to hunt some packies, mate, don't you?
That kind of stuff is a bit fucked up, okay? And you shouldn't be doing this. By right, you should have something like a neighborhood watch, and watch the people and the grooming gangs and so on. And it's the police who haven't done anything about the grooming gangs. That has pissed people off to such a degree. In your case, I would pack your shit and go back home. Okay? Go back to where you came from.
He's not the person he was. Depression, anxiety, you know, people don't believe that of him because his bravado is out there. But behind closed doors, it's broken him. You know, it got to a point where he'd smashed this bottle over his head and there was blood everywhere. He smashed the bottle and he basically went up to his throat. It was like that, split, because his head just couldn't take it. He couldn't take it anymore. I mean, do they not know the extent of what that damage has done?
No, it's you leftists who've done that. You have welcomed all that shit into the country. Okay? And then you didn't do anything about it when you actually went wrong with all of this. And all of a sudden you had all these grooming gangs and people being molested in the streets and in the bus station and all the stabbings and all the rest of it. And you want to pretend as if that's something normal. Oh yeah, you know, the white people do it as well. Well, actually, first of all, not in those numbers. Second of all, why would you want to bring more of it into the country if it's a bad thing? You are responsible for this, and you should take responsibility for this. Okay?
No, I don't think they do, and I don't think they care either.
Look at the way people live, it's just disgusting.
Ultimately, there's not been any winners in this story.
And they had to find a black and white couple for this shot. Look at this crap. Look at us over here. It is so fucking... These people are... Oh man, it's not in any way surprising that people hate your guts. You know that? It's not surprising at all.
And it just still doesn't feel it's over. Joe Murphy, give me a bit of a lifeline. But we had only talked on social media.
Oh, it's them too. Okay, sorry about that. But still, it would have been so perfect. What kind of a shirt is this?
I wanted to go out and visit him.
Oh my god!
Oh, wow.
I can't believe it, man.
Come here, you. What are you doing? Come on, don't be shy. Here you are.
Oh, that's all right.
Right, come on, let's go. I've got all nice and clean for you.
Yeah. Wow, who'd have thought?
I know. I never thought it'd come to this when it all kicked off. I really never.
Oh, never thought it was such a long road.
We're not at the end of it yet either.
No, we're not.
Unfortunately.
Why are they hanging in with this guy? I don't give a damn about this fucker. I just don't care about that guy. Let's go back to the other guy. Where is he? I want to hear more of this stuff. So we'll just start at the beginning and just get a couple of minutes on that one. Because this guy is just getting on my nerves, you know? And call it racism, call it what you want. I couldn't give a shit. I want... well, how am I supposed to say this? Pack these people up and bring them back home. They weren't supposed to stay here. That was the beginning of it all. And then you tricked us all, and now they're all staying here. You call it the new Germans, the new English, the new... No. Get the fuck, go back home to yourselves, alright? Go back home. This is how this whole shit started.
Ellie, what's going on? You okay? Have you taken something? Sit down.
You know by this crap that she was performing. This is performance, right? She actually hurt herself with a fucking hammer. This is beyond crazy.
Sit down for me. Sit down.
In the video, she does seem like quite a vulnerable individual in psychological distress.
I'll help you.
But I think this is the tip of the iceberg of a much bigger issue. You can...
You heard that already. This guy, there's this young lad there, okay?
The seaside town of
That
Barrow
makes
is holding
it
its
so
breath
strange
in
for
the
me.
trial of 21-year-old Ellie Williams on charges of
AC/DC, that's
perverting
cool.
the course of justice.
The week leading up to the trial, Jordan was really, really anxious every day. But then Jordan's mental health was already really difficult at that time.
Now, this is the stuff that where we get a bit of reality. You see, this other thing is because of the grooming gangs and because of the fact that there's lots of Pakistanis in there, right? And there's good reason to kind of say, look, you know, there's possibility. This story here is the one that there should have been taken to the front, not the Pakistani. The fact that this guy didn't do anything to anybody, okay? And she ruined his damn life because you don't come back from this. Even if you're vindicated, you just don't come back from it.
He was happy one day, and the next day it was like, I don't know, it was just like, he just crumbled. We had waited for a trial for years.
Oh, fuck it, years.
I was quite positive. I tried to be as positive as I could and try and get Jordan on a positive level. I absolutely love him bits, and he said he wanted to marry me and have a baby with me, and by this time I didn't want any more kids because I'd already had my 2. But I changed my mind during that time, waiting for it to start. We had our little boy, Louis.
He was born in August 2021, and that was obviously a really happy time. But at the same time, it was just one of my darkest.
He couldn't form a normal father-son bond because he doesn't want people thinking that he's around children when he shouldn't be.
Of course.
It was really hard, but it doesn't change the love I have for him. Like, he's my absolute G. He's my absolute little guy. I just love him to pieces. Because of everything what was going on, it's hard to become the dad that I wanted. I had rapists spray painted on my house and my window smashed.
You see what I'm saying? I actually have feelings for that guy. You know, I have pity with that guy. And this is the thing, they just get it wrong. They had to bring the racism in there. There was no need for that shit in the end of this. Oh man, I thought this was going to be a lot different. You know what I mean? I actually thought that we were going to get into this false accusation case and so on. And look what came out of it. What they did with it. Racism. Oh, it's a load of racism. Fuck off.
And that was it. Just, my life just went downhill again.
Pedo? What the hell does that have to do with anything? Why would he be a pedo? What the fuck? People are out of their mind. Rather than going to the actual police and going to the people who are responsible for letting all of them in, you know, all these rape gangs, those guys, and you know, voting differently and all the rest of that. No, they go to this guy. Oh my God! Believe all women. It's leftist. It's your fucking job to put this right.
Like Facebook posts and Facebook live streams, Facebook groups. Jordan Trengove was a rapist.
Of course.
He should be still in prison now.
So he was in prison even. Matter.
Just like, what the hell is actually going on? Like, it was so confusing. Like, I think I even tried to message the fundraiser for Ellie.
After I set up this crowdfunding page, which raised a substantial amount for Ellie, building up to the trial, Jordan started messaging me, saying, you know, she'd put them through hell and she made it up. I was getting a lot of messages. There was the mixed opinion, and that made me a little bit uncomfortable, but at the same time, I had to be cautious of who to trust. And the family were nothing but nice to me at that point.
Isn't it weird? You have a false accusation like this one here, and it was quite savage. You know, the thing is the fact that she was injured, that she injured herself that way, makes it really hard to say you're just making it up. I mean, what are you trying to say? You're trying to say that she did that to herself? And as it turns out, she did. I mean, that's quite something. That first of all, you had the footage of her going home. Nobody bothered her. She was alone all the way home. And the other thing is that she was done with a hammer, and she actually was filmed buying the hammer. Wow, that's like what? What in the fuck? That's quite amazing, right? I mean, how crazy is that? And this is the kind of shit then that is pulled off. All these people involved. He's fundraising, and then the guy, messages him and tells him, "Look, man, she lied." Well, I'm not so sure about that. I'm going to fundraise some. Yeah, well, amazing.
And I knew that a lot of things had still been investigated. I knew there was like an up-and-coming trial, and I knew that, the police were still looking into something. I didn't realise it was so much Ellie. I thought the whole case was still being looked into. So I just left it. Didn't focus on Jordan, didn't know enough, probably didn't take enough interest, because I always go back to the evidence that she provided on Facebook. Text messages, battered body, it was a lot. I believed her.
Evidence. Not a shred of it. And look at the way she was acting, like a child. Remember here at the end of it all, I was showing her in bed there, and she was acting like a damn child. I mean, like, what was going on here?
No perspective.
And she was lying down.
What we know with trauma is that if it's not dealt with at the time, is that it presents again. Her way of working her trauma out. Things she wished she'd said, wished she'd done, actions she wished she'd taken.
Look at this.
Sex. You had sex.
Her needs are being met.
What is this?
Through this behaviour.
Do you understand? Why would you stand there and believe her? Why would you? And she's not mentally ill. That kind of fucking behaviour, you get that only in very particular cases. And then it doesn't stop or anything like that. This is the way the people are. She picked this up someplace. It is really fucking bad shit, man. This is really fucking bad. And of course, and then the poor Pakistani. Get the fuck out of here, for God's sakes. I hate that kind of shit. I hate the way people ramp up all sorts of bullshit and make it about something else.
Eleanor Williams posted pictures on Facebook when she was 19 in 2020. She and her victims have been waiting since then for justice.
Imagine.
So the trial finally began in October 2022, so well over 2 years after Ellie's Facebook post.
That's just incredible. Waiting for 2 years for something to happen, and people accusing you right, left, and centre, believing her, and don't even know. That's crazy shit.
To the attention of people all around the world.
She had been the victim of an
Ellie had been charged with averting the course of justice, and she was going to be on trial, accused of lying about being raped by various men, including Mohammed Ramzan and Jordan Trengove.
Williams, who is 22, put pictures on Facebook and claimed she had been...
So there was even more. It was like including those two. So there was even more, imagine. By an Asian grooming gang. They can't just say Pakistani, right? They can't. Yeah, right, they can't. Of course they can't. And it wasn't Asian, it was like Muslim.
Groomed, trafficked and beaten.
Having covered a lot of these grooming scandals before,
yeah, I'm doing nothing about it, right, lady?
The police forces had turned a blind eye to the abuse, and in many cases they had also criminalised the victims. So I very much went into it with an open mind.
What a load of bullshit. Which is true, by the way, they did criminalise the victims.
And finally the case was opened, and those...
But that woman was definitely not on the side of the victims. She better prove it. I wouldn't believe her.
That have been called as a prosecution witness were asked to attend.
I remember being stood outside the courtroom, waiting to go and give my evidence, and just felt like I was going to pass out. When I was going to have to face the person that ruined my whole entire life.
As I went in, Ellie was just talking to her mum constantly, laughing with each other, smiling.
Laughing and smiling with her mother. This is so disgusting.
Are you all right? Are you okay, darling? Just constant. If you can imagine how hard that would have been for Jordan, having to walk into them two laughing. It's just unbelievable.
I told the court my side of it.
And then Ellie's barrister started firing questions at him. She was going in on him, trying to trip him up on everything that she possibly could.
I was shaking, sweating. Ellie's barrister, she looked at me and she went,
"Did you rape Ellie Williams?"
I couldn't speak. Eventually, I said no.
Wow. Wow. So anyway, I'm going to put a link to this thing in the description so you can watch it. We jumped around it a bit because it turned out to be very different than the way it starts. So I thought, yeah. Amazing. Just amazing. The way things turn out, right? There's another one here called Cold Trace as well. The women who lied about being groomed. Yeah, they're going to love this story, obviously, because, I mean, even though there is the grooming gang and all the rest of that, I'm just going to have a look into this one here for a sec and see if
they
we
can shoot you.
Find something. Let's have a look at this thing for a sec. Alright, where are we going? Here we are.
They can torture you. They're brutal people. Like, rape ain't enough. They will do more and more and more. There's another girl that will get sold to the freshies, the ones that got brought over from Pakistan. She was in the next room and there'll be a queue, literally a long queue outside. They got printed like little passport photos, like things. And then he took them back to Pakistan and showed them that he had a young white girlfriend in England. I didn't have one social worker stand up in court and say that I was being sexually exploited. I got my care files 4 years ago and that's all it says in there. So they knew and not once stood up in court and wanted to help me. There's hundreds and thousands of girls that feel like this every day.
So, okay, we're not going to get into this one right now, even though we do have a little bit of time, about 20 minutes or something like so. Maybe we should have a look into this. Because it's kind of weird, you know, there we have a case of a false accusation. I hate false accusations, but then it mixes itself with this whole grooming gang thing. And I love to use this story now, obviously, I bet they do. I love to use this story to downplay the whole fucking thing with the Pakistanis. So that's why I didn't want to listen to the Pakistani who got falsely accused here, right? Because, well, who gives a fuck? What about all the stuff that is actually going on as well? And you know what I mean? That you don't talk about. And you don't say, look, I can understand why this is happening to me. I can understand why people, you know, are firing all the shots at me. But of course, it's because of racism. So let's have a look, see what this woman has to say.
But it happened when I was 14. And yeah, the police still don't want to do nothing. I had girls in my cell reading my paperwork. I was classed as a nonce in there. I had my 18th birthday in there. I missed my auntie's funeral. All for being raped my whole teenage life.
Do you think that they targeted you because of your race?
She claims. So it hasn't been proven. This is the thing I hate about the fact that they've just destroyed an awful lot of the actual data. But the data came out now in the UK, and it is incredible what's going on there. Oh.
How it started, I was 14. I was living with my dad, who was an addict, and he took me on a drug deal with him. And that's where I met my first perpetrator. It started off by him obviously driving past me, him being my dad's friend, giving me lifts home, and things like that. And then it would be seeing me on my way to school, taking me to school, picking me up from school, buying me fags. And then it got like more fun, like inviting us out to parties and buying us alcohol, cigarettes and everything.
Oh my God. Of course, because girls want to do all this stuff and so on, and she's a teenager, she wants it all, and of course it turns into abuse.
And then
my God,
that's when they'll start introducing you to their family, and then where they like friend you and have this big trust, like you build this massive trust with them. I wouldn't say I classed him as my boyfriend, but it was more like a really good friend of mine. But then sexual activity started.
So how old were you? How old was he?
I was 14. I don't know. He had a wife and 3 kids. I actually don't know his age. So at that time, I was 14. He had a wife and 3 kids. So yeah, I couldn't say an age. He ran a taxi base. His whole family, they had their own taxi base. Yeah, and where you'll build this trust, and then they'll be like, oh, we bought you alcohol, and they'll then make you sleep with whoever's with them. So it could be their brother, their nephew, whoever. And if you say no, you'll either get beaten up, or it's more of a bribe thing as well, where it's like, well, I bought you the alcohol. I pick you up every day and give you lifts. I do this, I do that. So then you start feeling like you owe them something, and that's what you need to do. Yeah, it just gets brutal more and more. The more time you're in it. I shouted out when I was 14. I was in a house and got sexually assaulted by a 51-year-old. I didn't know he was 51. I went straight to the police, gave him DNA, done everything I needed to, and they rang me and told me his name and his age, and then said that it's NFA. There weren't enough evidence to bring anything forward.
Just going back a little bit, do you remember the point where it sort of switched between like, oh, this is just someone that is being nice to me, to they want something, or did it just happen gradually over time?
It just happens gradually over time.
Yeah.
They know the ways to.
That's why we call it grooming. That's the reason for the name. And then all of a sudden, they have to sleep with all sorts of people. You see, what I don't like about all of this is that because a woman says, "Oh, they raped me," you can't just go there and say you're a rapist. Of course you can't. We just saw that. But like, what is the likelihood of this woman is telling you the truth? Yeah, very high. The likelihood is very high. If you know something about people, you notice it, the way she talks and so on, the way she tries to, kind of cover up the feelings that are about to come up out of her. I'm not going to watch all of this. Let's just one a bit more. What else do they have here? Replayed. Free violence and abuse. You just jump around a bit here.
It rips your insides out because it's better than what could be coming your way.
Which could be?
Anything. They can shoot you, they can torture you, they're horrible, they're brutal people. Like, rape ain't enough, they will do more and more and more.
So that was one of the groups. What were the other 2 groups that you saw?
There was another group who would take you to drive you like far away from where you are, and then take you to a house, and he will like to get you to go home. You'd either be left in the middle of nowhere, not knowing where you are, or you have to sleep with 6 people that are in the house just to get home.
Wow. And do you remember the first time that happened?
Oh yeah, I remember all of them. Well, majority of them.
But so it was just like, and where were they taking you? How far away?
You're that drunk, like you're so drunk and driving in the dark that you just don't even know half the time. One time I walked out the house and I was that drunk, I tried to run away from them. I ended up fell down and rolled down a ditch, but it was a long fall, and I had like thorns in me. I was picking out thorns out of me for months, and like when I look back, I could have been dead at the bottom of that ditch.
Yeah.
Like just trying to get away. And
so was it different cities that they were taking to, or I
really couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I've had my foster carer drive I've had to walk down roads and find a road name and say, I'm here, can you come and pick me up, please?
Yeah. Wait, so, and then your foster care, what did happen when...
My foster care would just come pick me up and take me home. And just tell the social worker that I was reported missing, I'm back now. I found her drunk, wherever they found me.
Okay, because this is one of the patterns that always happens, right, which is this reported missing.
Mm-hmm.
You were being abducted, kidnapped, but they were saying that you were missing.
Mm-hmm.
So, believe all women. Do it. Okay? What's wrong with you? So what is this? Is this a false accusation now? You see, because of the stuff that was going on, this is one woman. You can get these stories online, you can get them all over the place. And with the new report from, what was his name? The guy from Restore Britain, I think. He just brought out the new report about the grooming gangs, and it's horrific. And all sorts of people are implicated. Politicians, police, and the lot. So the stories by themselves are, of course, true. Now, is this particular story true? That's going to be hard to prove from here. But the point is that the stories are true, okay? So, and because they're Pakistanis, that's why I want to show this as well. It just happened right now. We are live at this, not live in the internet, but we're live doing this, responding to it straight out. So, how true is this? You're going to believe all women? Then believe her. I hope that they're going to pack them all up and going to throw them all out. Everywhere out of all of Europe. Okay? False accusations are evil. Okay? And they're bad. And it's good that that girl was put away. But what about the real ones?
Yeah. And how frequent was that?
I've got just 1 month's missing reports, and it was like every other day.
Every other day?
Every other day, every 3 days, yeah. Yeah, I got put in the Bucks Free Press for being reported missing. I was missing for 8 days, I think it was.
Right, okay, so what they said is in, can you help to find you?
Yeah, me and this other girl from my care home.
Wow, and where were you when that went out?
At their houses.
So, who put that out? It was like the police or whatever?
Yeah.
But if they'd have just paid attention, they would have known.
Yeah, they find you in the houses. The police know where to find you. They'll come and find you from a house and take you away from the house.
And what do they say when they take you away?
Nothing. They just take you back to your care home. They literally do nothing.
And with the one of the things that always baffles me is like, how did none of those police officers be like, what's going on here? Like, was there never any point that any of them just...
No, there's literally been nothing. Nothing. When I reported one in 2011, and him and his wife bullied me to drop it. So eventually I dropped it. They drove me to the police station, and I had 2 Asian men walk me into the police station.
She calls him Asian herself. This is ridiculous.
I got arrested for wasting police time. When I got released, when they let me out of the police cell, the 2 Asian men are still sat in the waiting room waiting for me to come out.
Muslims, Pakistanis, not Asians.
To make sure that I dropped it.
So, wait, just so you reported what was a sexual assault against a guy, and then him and his wife, what did they say? What were they
were intimidating me. They knew my dad was homeless. They were threatening to do things to my dad while he was begging on the street. They were driving past me, intimidating me. It was just... They were just terrorising me. It was just easier to...
And then they marched you into the police station. The police accepted that they... And then...
I got arrested for wasting police time, which is still on my records now.
And did that...
She got arrested for wasting the time of the police. It's just ridiculous. You see what they were doing? You see why people are so angry, and why this whole thing about saying, oh, it's far-right people and it's the far-right that are all... No. You're done. You're done. Ordinary people have enough of this shit. They have enough of this crap. And it's time to throw all these people out, and it's time to show the left where, where this stuff has to go.
Happened with other girls too?
Yeah, one of the girls that I went through it with, she actually went to jail for lying about rape.
What, for like a false allegation, but it wasn't?
Well, all of a sudden, false accusations are all in with the left. Oh, the left is all, against false accusations all of a sudden. This is ridiculous. This is just fucking ridiculous. Kind of amazing what this video is turning into. We'll do another 5 minutes and then I put the links in the description. You can have a look at them.
Yeah, it won't, no. She got bullied.
How did they even get the evidence to...
Because when you go and drop it and say no, so if a case has gone so far, like into court, like especially if it goes to court, and then all of a sudden you just go, no, I don't want to, I've dropped it, I was lying. You've lied to the court, you've done all these other crimes, so they're gonna...
And they just accepted that?
Yeah.
Then there was the third group that you said that there was...
Yeah, which was my main perpetrators. They're the ones, like he'll go on like he really cared about me. So there was times where if he was in the house, I wouldn't get touched, like leave her alone. Like he was my protector. He was like, I suffered with something with Stockholm syndrome, which I didn't know about. But I've only just come to terms with him.
Right.
Because I thought he cared about me. I didn't think it was what it was. So yeah, I struggle with him. But then sometimes he'll just drop me off to the house, and then that's when the abuse would happen. But it's like he knew, yeah, I know he knew.
Amazing, isn't it? The tactics. What kind of tactics they do this with, so that the women don't have a clue what the hell is going on. Wow.
And what kind of houses are we talking about here?
Oh, I've been to his wife's house, we've been to hotels, we've been to his dad's house. They have garages, serious, taxi bases.
And like the group, what is their, like, what's the makeup of the group? Are they all from this, is Pakistan, is it all
Pakistani?
Like, and family?
Pakis. There you go.
These and relatives and stuff?
Yeah.
And like, do you remember at the time thinking about like, what are these guys that have got families and all the rest of it?
Yeah, I always used to question the wrong. Always used to question the wrong. It never used to make sense to me. Never. Like, obviously I always knew what I went through weren't right, but it took for the Three Girls documentary to come out for me to watch that and think, oh my gosh, that's actually what I went through.
Right, so it was when the BBC, the drama that's about like Maggie Oliver and whatnot, that then you recognised that had happened to you.
Yeah, that is exactly what I went through.
So where were you and like how old were you when that happened? When you saw the documentary and then realised what had gone on?
I was, gosh, in my 20s.
Tell me about when the police went after you.
Right, so me and this girl went to a house party. We went to one house party and that group dropped us to a different house. And we all had a drink. All the abuse happened, that happens. And
okay, there's something weird about this, right? Like, why would she go along? Why would she go to the parties and all the rest of that? That's because they've already been conditioned. That's the one thing. The other thing is because women are stupid sometimes. They're just simply fucking stupid sometimes, and it can really upset you as a man. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? Why are you still going to these parties? Why don't you just stay home? Why don't you go and get yourself protection from somebody, like a man, like a husband or whatever? But you can say what you want. It doesn't make any difference if when this is going on, it's going on, right? And it does all sorts of shit with your mind, obviously, right? So there's loads of videos online about this whole grooming gang stuff in England, in Britain especially. It happens all over Europe. It happens everywhere in the West. And it's the left that are responsible for this. So we want to understand stuff like that, you know? I don't know what exactly can be done about this. probably the things that are being done about it. And there's a great, cool new movie out. It's called Citizen Vigilante. I love promoting that movie. I've watched it. It is absolutely amazing. Here it is. You will find it. There you go. You will find it on X, and you can watch it there. It is a movie by Uwe Boll. And because of all this crap, because of all these grooming gangs crap and all the rest of that, and, putting down her own citizens and her own people, this is the reason why this movie is out. Okay? So we have quite a balance today. Look, false accusations, that's not on, man. That's not on, okay? Obviously. But the point is, that it's not just false accusations. That's not what's going on, generally speaking, okay? When it happens, that's fucked up shit, and I hate it. But when it's about these people, and most of these are not false accusations, okay? And it also tells you, check these women. You have to check them, okay? Women lie, and they keep lying. There's not a problem for bitches at all, okay? So, not all of them, obviously, but a lot of them. So, get your shit together. There's not much I can say to this, except for, watch yourselves. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy shit. Okay, so, I'm just getting a call. I heard it down in the background. So, we're going to finish up for today. I hope this was some sort... It was a bit all over the place, wasn't it? Because I wasn't expecting the straight twists and turns in that, because I was just thinking, look, let's watch this. False accusations. I don't like our false accusations. Let's watch this. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I had a bit of fun. All that's left to say is God bless you all. Till next time. Bye-bye.